Thank you for joining us for this look at some of the best stories from KPBS News this week. I'm John Carroll. Coming up, San Diego needs more homes, but there's a debate over how that growth will be shared by neighborhoods. Residents in Encanto say what's being asked of them is unfair and inequitable. The quest for unlimited green power. Local scientists show us the progress with nuclear fusion as an energy source for everyday use. And an artistic revival in Paradise Hills. See how a reunion of high school friends brought a piece of local street art back to life. We start with the critical work in assessing one of San Diego's biggest challenges. Thursday morning, teams of volunteers across the county participated in the annual homelessness census, known as the point-in-time count. Our news teams were out there with them to see how this sensitive work is carried out. We have two reports, starting with Melissa May in downtown San Diego.
At 4 a.m., a group of volunteers meets in a downtown church to prepare for this year's point-in-time count.
We're going to be in and around Petco Park. This is so important because we need to have a snapshot. We need to understand what is going on within our communities, the populations for which we are serving and the needs that they have. And the only way to do that is to collectively do that in one point in time.
Ketra Carter is the program manager for homelessness strategies and solutions with the city of San Diego. She says it's not just about counting the homeless. It's about engaging with them to better understand why they're on the streets and their needs to get into housing.
I only get SSI, so I can't afford to get in it anywhere anymore because it's like double the rent. That it costs too much to get inside with just SSI.
Burgundy Collinsworth says she's been homeless for the last year.
When I'm trying to figure out food, place to go, safety, and all this other stuff, I can't keep checking into perk when I lose my phone. Someone steals my phone, I ain't got it. Or I've got mental health or drug issues, I can't keep doing it. So I give up.
Michael Woozy has been on the streets for 2 years. He says severe arthritis in his knees led him to start self-medicating.
I don't use alcohol or anything, but I was using stuff for pain, and it just made it difficult. And I ended up out here, and it's been a long and lonely road. I'm 63 years old, so I get my pension, but I make too much to qualify for the benefits, but I don't make enough to actually pay for an apartment on my own. I'm like right on there, they put a money threshold on who they give benefits to.
The point-in-time count helps determine future federal homelessness funding to help people like Woolsey and Collinsworth.
Information that is utilized to identify the resources that are needed to help someone end their episode of homelessness, but also the level and the volume of funding that we need in order to do so. This information is gathered and shared with our elected officials to go to Washington and help fight the good fight and advocate for the funding that we need to end homelessness here in San Diego.
The city of San Diego says it received about $17 million in federal grants for homelessness this fiscal year. It's unclear how a possible freeze by the Trump administration could impact future federal homelessness funding. A spokesperson for the city of San Diego declined to comment on hypothetical cuts. Melissa May, KPBS News.
It's 4 in the morning, and the Nutrition Center at Interfaith Community Services in Escondido is filled with volunteers. They are getting ready to head into the streets and connect with as many people experiencing homelessness as possible.
It's important to do this count because it enables us to see how many people are experiencing homelessness on this day and to be able to provide more services and get more help for these people.
Melina Bautista is one of those volunteers. But getting an accurate count is easier said than done.
We have been trying to see if there's some individuals living in their cars, which there has been. Some of the people did not want to be interviewed, but we were able to count them because they were sleeping at this time. But several individuals who were sleeping on the streets, we were able to interview them and count them as well.
Michelle Hernandez is experiencing homelessness, but wasn't surveyed in today's count. She was on the bus from San Diego to Escondido trying to get a hot meal, but got there too late.
It's about an hour and a half respectively, one way. And so I've learned that there's breakfast here, hot meals, breakfast for Monday through Friday.
She says it's exhausting trying to get help and questions where funding is really going.
Spend billions for homeless, okay? Like billions. And over time, a lot of money. And you often wonder where those resources are going. Because it seems like personally me, I would love to see an audit of where those funds go.
An audit conducted last year showed California spent almost $24 billion on homelessness and housing over the last 5 years, but failed to track its progress. Since then, Governor Gavin Newsom has called for an increase in accountability from service providers. Interfaith Community Services CEO Greg Angel says helping people out of homelessness comes at a cost.
Health services through licensed behavioral health clinicians. Those robust wraparound services are really critical to helping people overcome so many challenges that they experience when they're homeless, but they do come at a cost.
And the reality is?
Well, shelter is very expensive.
While there is a need to create more shelter space, Angel says that just solves a temporary problem.
We also need to work on creating affordable housing for people to move out of shelters into. That's the ultimate solution to homelessness, is housing.
The results of the point-in-time count will come out later this year. Tanya Thorne, KPBS News.
Accessory dwelling units, also known as ADUs or granny flats, are a piece of the housing solution. But this week, the San Diego City Council voted to debate removing a bonus ADU program. It allows what some call backyard apartment buildings. Katie Hyson says many of the largest projects are proposed in southeast San Diego, and neighbors are pushing back.
On Tarbox Street in Encanto sits a small home with a big backyard. A yellow sign hangs on the fence. Encanto says no. Rebecca Batista lives next door.
My husband had noticed that there was some movement happening on the property, so he decided to look for the permits, and he'll tell you himself that he nearly fell to the floor.
43 new homes are planned for a yard smaller than half a football field. That's more homes than the rest of the street combined. Lisa and Eric Becerra live next to Batista. They spread word to neighbors.
They're like, no, we're not zoned for that. And then I'll send them the plans, and they're like, are you kidding me? Oh, my God.
They had no idea how this could happen without public notice, without a public hearing, without it adhering to a community plan.
That's by design. ADUs don't have to do any of that. It's part of what makes them cheaper and faster to build. California hopes to entice developers to build more housing. It allows 2 ADUs on each lot. Usually, they're what you might call granny flats. But San Diego took it further. In 2020, they said you can have 2 more, as long as one of them is priced affordably. And if your lot is within a walking mile of a major public transit stop, there's no limit, resulting in some proposed projects with more than 100 units on a single lot, what some call granny towers. Those are rare. In most parts of San Diego, the typical project is about 4 units. And in Encanto, it's about 10. Batista.
We started peeling the onion to realize that it wasn't just this lot next to ours, but upwards of like 10 to 12 properties that we know about that are using the same bonus ADU loophole.
The Encanto area makes sense for developers. Larger lot sizes for less money than other neighborhoods. It used to be redlined. Today, neighbors are mostly Black and Latino and low income. Batista isn't opposed to more housing. Say, 6 more homes on this lot. But 43 more has her worried. Under state law, ADU developers don't have to provide parking. On Tarbox Street, it's hard to imagine where more cars would go. The road isn't maintained by the city. It's riddled with potholes. There are no sidewalks or storm drains, only 2 streetlights. Overgrown trees and parked cars jet into the road. Eric Becerra.
How are they trying to pass this type of building structure when they can't even help us with what we need?
An early academic assessment of the program cautioned San Diego about the pattern of larger ADU projects proposed in the Encanto area. Quote, the city may not want to see such a high concentration of units in areas that have historically absorbed more than their fair share of housing development. Co-author Jake Wegman.
About sometimes results in a feeling among people living in those areas of, hey, we're getting all the development, and then meanwhile people in La Jolla or more affluent areas haven't had to have the same kind of development that we have.
California ADU developers don't have to pay impact fees or conduct environmental reviews. And Encanto is disproportionately affected by environmental burdens and health risks. It's also at a high risk for fires. Unlike apartments, ADUs don't have to have sprinklers. More concrete instead of grassy lots also means more water runoff. The neighborhood flooded last January. Wegman called the infrastructure problem a chicken and egg dynamic.
Sometimes people will say, well, we shouldn't build any more housing in this area because the infrastructure can't handle it, right? And then on the other hand, sometimes you hear, well, why would we add infrastructure to this neighborhood? Because there aren't enough people there to justify it.
Neighbor Lisa Becerra asks,
So what are these people supposed to do until it catches up?
About 50 neighbors have begun to organize. They created a petition this month that has over 500 signatures. They said they would consider legal action. Rebecca Batista.
This has turned us into activists, and it's been really beautiful bringing our community together for something that we all believe in. We know how special Encanto is.
I set out with her family toward the closest major public transit stop. It's supposed to be a mile away at most, but Google Maps says it's a little more. With no sidewalk, we're forced to walk in the road. The wheels of their double stroller and her daughter's scooter bump hard over potholes. We pass a smaller bus stop with no shade. An elderly neighbor's chair sits on the grassy incline, empty. Batista tells me she just sold her property to a developer. Katie Hyson, KPBS News.
That story by Katie Hyson is one of the most popular this week at kpbs.org. Here are some others. The San Diego City Council repeals a controversial footnote in city code that targets housing in southeastern neighborhoods. San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria is exploring options after a surprise city council vote seeking repeal of a landmark housing program. And Tanya Thorne reports on local businesses and nonprofits that are feeling the impact of recent immigration enforcement in North County. Mexico is one of the countries that will receive those who are deported. In Tijuana, the government recently showed the media how it's welcoming those people. KPBS video journalist Matthew Bowler takes us inside one of the new shelters.
This is Mexico 1, the free road from Tijuana to Rosarito. That building was an event hall called Flamencos Eventos until just last week. It hosted things like quinceañeras and wedding receptions. It has been turned into a temporary shelter for deportees. It is part of a national program in Mexico called México te abraza, or Mexico embraces you.
México te abraza.
On January 21st, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum announced the program in her daily press conference. It is how Mexico is preparing for the repatriation of its citizens if American President Donald Trump is able to follow through with his promise of mass deportations. This shelter is part of a new network of facilities created in Mexico along the border with the United States. Baja Governor Marina del Pilar Avila says this facility is exclusively for deportees repatriated because of President Trump's promised mass deportations.
Hay atención de consultorios médicos y también tendrán atención psicológica, emocional, por cualquier, el nivel de estrés, ¿no? O ansiedad con la cual puedan llegar hasta este centro de atención. Y recordarles, esto es muy importante.
Governor Pilar says this facility will not just feed and house the deportees, but also provide medical and psychological care to help them manage the stress of their deportation. Media was allowed access to one section of the shelter, showing the dining hall, kitchen, bunk beds, medical offices, and government offices. Monica Juliana Vega Aguirre is the Secretary of Environment and Sustainable Development. She represented the governor to English-speaking media. Vega says this shelter is ready.
We know that there is a lot of expectation of when and how many people are coming. So in this first center, we're ready to receive 2,600 people, men, women, families, young people, so they can come back to their country safely we want to give them a warm welcome.
On this day, no deportees are at the shelter. Nonetheless, the governments of Tijuana, Baja California, and Mexico say they are ready to welcome them home. In Tijuana, Matthew Bowler, KPBS News.
The creation of energy from nuclear fusion has been a goal in the developed world for decades. The work done at companies like General Atomics in San Diego is bringing us closer to it. SciTech reporter Thomas Fudge tells us about this quest to put the sun in a bottle, providing what would be unlimited power.
In August last year, the control room at General Atomics had something to celebrate. They generated their plasma shot number 200,000. That's an experimental fusion of hydrogen atoms you smash together to generate the heat you need to produce energy. David Pace is deputy director of the fusion facility run by General Atomics.
With fusion, what we're going to do, we're going to take two particles, and if you smash them together hard enough, they release net energy. And that's what we do. We want to smash together a lot of particles and make a lot of energy.
Nuclear fusion is what happens on the sun. The process leaves behind helium and energy, and none of that long-lasting nuclear waste that has bedeviled its scientific cousin, the nuclear fission power plant. Richard Buttery is the director of General Atomics' D3D fusion reactor, which is funded by the Department of Energy. He said the promise of exploiting fusion on Earth is a virtually limitless supply of energy.
Because the fuel we have for fusion is abundant around the world. The deuterium, that's one type of hydrogen that we use. You just extract that from seawater. The other fuel that we want to use, lithium, is something you can pull out the ground. It's common. It's in your cell phone batteries. And the amounts you need to do a lot of energy is very small.
The quest for fusion energy has been a long haul. Scientists have been pursuing it since the Second World War, and some of the testing infrastructure is pretty old school. At General Atomics, the fusion reactor is called a tokamak, a technology that's been around since the 1960s. Originally developed by the Russians, the so-called tokamak is a donut-shaped oven that conducts the intense heat needed for fusion. Powerful magnets are used to control the energy. But with all the progress that's been seen, we still don't have the technology to contain and release fusion energy, so it can boil water, run a turbine, and generate power. Pace says the challenge now is turning the science into a fusion power plant.
We have a piece of science that we understand really, really well, but now we have to fold that into a physical device that takes it to the next step, that gets you closer to producing electricity. And it's really this integration and this full system approach that is just an incredibly challenging problem.
He says the industry still needs research and development. The development of materials like the steel that go inside the reactor that doesn't unexpectedly erode or emit particles important to fusion. A possible answer to this challenging problem is taking shape in France, an international project called ITER, which is Latin for the way. It is a tokamak-powered facility that will be the closest thing the world has seen to a fusion power plant. Its goal is to get fusion to continue in the reactor under its own heat and power, not relying on the kind of imported heat needed for a brief plasma shot. Buttery says ITER's goal is to produce 10 times the energy it gets from an outside heating source. This year, General Atomics will ship to ITER a magnet to contain its superhot ball of gas. And Buttery says this is going to be the world's biggest magnet.
Just to give you one stat here, this is a magnet that is so powerful that it could lift an aircraft carrier out of the water.
Scientific work on fusion energy has gone on for so long you have to forgive people for casting doubt when they hear somebody say, "We're almost there." Innovation and public policy professor David Victor co-directs UC San Diego's Energy Decarbonization Initiative. He says the old joke about fusion is it's the great energy source of the future, and it always will be. But he does believe that recent progress toward the goal is no joke.
There are a lot of improvements in technologies that make several different strategies for fusion energy at least seem a lot more plausible than they did even 5 or 10 years ago. New kinds of lasers, and in particular, new kinds of magnets, really, really powerful magnets that can confine a fusion plasma.
But he says every new energy source has uncertainties, and as we consider fusion, don't forget the potential of wind and solar. Even nuclear fission may have a future if the industry can build small modular units. Meanwhile, Buttery says private sector investment in fusion in the U.S. has increased hugely, from venture capitalists to philanthropic groups.
At the government level, the United States is investing strongly in fusion, and so are our competitors. China is actually outspending the United States by a factor of 2 in its government funding.
Buttery says with increased investment, people in the fusion field believe we will have fusion power plants sometime in the 2030s. If that does happen, the question of whether you can draw power from one of them may depend on where you live. Thomas Fudge, KPBS News.
If you live in the Paradise Hills neighborhood of southeast San Diego, you might remember this legendary art wall from the 90s. For almost 30 years now, it's been vacant. But late last year, South Bay reporter Corey Suzuki says 3 high school friends reunited to bring it back to life.
The wall is at the top of Division Street, right where it curves upwards, away from the freeway and down into the neighborhood of Paradise Hills. It's kind of tucked away behind a big concrete phone pole across the street from a church. For decades, it was blank and a dusty gray. If you weren't from the neighborhood, you might have missed it. But today, the wall is bright and colorful.
The vegetables that we painted here are staples of the Ilocano diet.
Cars drive past as Ron Ricato points to the brand new mural that's there along the wall now.
You know, we've got the squash, we got the ampalaya, we got the eggplant, the kamatis, calamansi. They're all fruits and vegetables that Filipinos use in their cooking.
Ricato is an artist who grew up in Paradise Hills. He spent weeks painting this mural with 2 friends. It shows traditional fruits and vegetables from the Philippines, like calamansi and ampalaya, and the crimson flag of the United Farm Workers Union, an homage to the farm workers' strikes of the 1960s. At the center is a saying in Tagalog, Isang Bagsak.
Isang bagsak, which literally translates to one down, meaning if one of us is down, that means that we're all down. And if one of us is up, that means all of us are up, representing a real communal spirit.
It's the first time that there's been a mural here in 30 years. Back in the 90s, though, Ricato says he and his friends used to paint this wall all the time. They were going to high school just down the street.
The neighborhood was different. It was crazier. It was a bit crazier, like, there was, the upstart of, gangs and drugs.
Paradise Hills was a red line neighborhood, a black and brown community that was systematically disinvested in. It was home to a big Filipino community, which Ricato and his friends were part of. Ricato says their immigrant parents weren't thinking about enrolling them in soccer or other activities. Instead, he and his friends turned to art.
The New York-style subway graffiti, it was all brand new. So being a kid and seeing that, it was fresh, It was fresh. And it was like, oh, man, I want to do that.
Ricato and his friends started looking for spots to paint. In Paradise Hills, there were only a few. There were some places towards Spring Valley. There was the side of the old Circle K liquor store. And then there was the wall at the top of Division Street.
This wall was kind of at the center of everything.
Ramali Liquidon. He's like a cousin to Ricato.
This is one of the main streets off of the main freeways and to get into Paradise Hills, you have to kind of go down this street to get into the neighborhood of Paradise Hills. So everybody was coming in and out of this passageway right here and seeing this wall every day that they would go to work, go to school and all that.
They gave themselves a crew name, JVC. Almost every month, they would put up a new mural on Division Street. They painted cartoon characters, messages, and portraits of friends who had passed away. When rival crews didn't approve, they would come and paint over their work.
This was almost like our social media back in the days.
Junior Inocencio was the 3rd member of their crew. He says their work was starting to get attention in the neighborhood.
We were able to broadcast our post, but through artwork to the community. And a lot of the fellow writers out there at the time, they would take notice.
But others were taking notice too, including the cops. In 1993, they launched a major sting operation targeting graffiti artists across San Diego County. Officers posed as Hollywood producers working on a documentary. Eventually, they arrested 37 people, including Inocencio, who had just graduated from high school. Ricato and Liquidon tried to keep painting after that, but soon they graduated too. Liquidon went to art school in Valencia and San Francisco. Inocencio had to go to court and do community service, and eventually became an art teacher. And back on Division Street, the wall was empty. Ricato went to college in Long Beach and joined the Navy. Even on duty, he kept drawing, making sketches on printer paper and scanning them onto a computer whenever he got the chance. Finally, after decades away from home, he got orders back to San Diego.
Of course, I'm hitting up the old crew, and we're talking about the glory days or just catching up, and we're still, all of us still are, it's still a part of us. So we all are artists in certain ways, and we're talking about like that we should one day come back to this.
This, the wall on Division Street. Last year, Ricardo, Liquidon, and Inocencio got together with some old friends and began planning something new. In early October, the three of them started painting. Now, there's a new mural on Division Street, but it's different from the scenes they used to paint. This mural is focused on honoring the history of Filipino culture and the neighborhood.
We came out here, but this time we're growing up, more mature, so we wanted to reflect that, like what would be a good message to share with the community.
Ricardo says they didn't sign it. They wanted the focus to be on the message, not on themselves. But in the bottom right corner, they did stencil the letters of their old crew, JVC. Can I ask, does that stand for something?
Well, JVC, we're back in the day when we were younger, it was the Juvenile Vandal Crew, right? I don't know what it stands for now.
A lot has changed since the 90s. The crew, the neighborhood. But some things are still the same, like an old brick wall, like a group of childhood friends, still trying to make the neighborhood a little more beautiful. Corey Suzuki, KPBS News.
Episodes of KPBS News This Week can be found on the KPBS YouTube page. That's where you'll find all of the stories from our newsroom and other local programming from KPBS. Subscribe and get notifications when new content is posted. YouTube is also where we live stream KPBS Evening Edition weeknights at 5. We hope you enjoyed this look at KPBS News This Week. I'm John Carroll. Thank you for joining us.